Hi, I've been doing a lot of reading on NAD supplements of late, especially on the main channel, and I ran across this one called the Nuchido Time Trial, which is a study that's been done using a particular type of NAD booster. So NAD, we'll get into it in just a little bit. What I'd like to do is hear what the founder of this NAD supplement company has to say about their supplement. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fact check it with the study that they actually released. So stick around.
Hello, my name is Dr. Nicola Conlon and I am the founder and lead scientist of Nuchido Laboratories, and this is our product, Nuchido Time Plus. So NAD is a natural molecule found in every single cell in your body, and it's important for hundreds of different cellular reactions, but it's most important for two, and the two that it's most important for are firstly energy production, where it creates all the energy that your cells need to function, and secondly for repair.
Okay, let's discuss that first aspect a little bit. So as she mentioned, NAD is a molecule that's involved in any number of different reactions. There's hundreds of reactions that NAD is involved in. So let's look at this picture that I have here, where you can see that NAD and different precursors of NAD, so NAM, NMN, those are all precursors to NAD production. In the purple here, we've got NAD. So she mentions mitochondria, and that's true that NAD is a critical factor when looking at mitochondria's ability to generate cellular energy, so ATP generation. And that happens at a series of proteins called the electron transport chain, specifically at complex 1. On the other hand, she also mentions that it's involved in DNA repair. So NAD being recycled here is going to at least it interacts with different proteins within the nucleus called PARPs and the different SERT proteins. And these proteins are involved specifically in DNA repair. So she's absolutely right about both of those claims.
NAD basically fuels a lot of the repair processes that your cells need to stay in good health. Now, NAD is actually linked to aging, and the reason it's linked to aging is it's been found to decline with age. In fact, it's estimated that NAD declines by 50% every 20 years, so that's quite a substantial decline for something that's so critically important in your cells.
Okay, that part is also true. So NAD levels within our tissues drop over time as we age.
So Nuchido Time Plus has been clinically proven to boost cellular NAD and to reverse biological age.
Okay, let me pause there real quick. And what she's referring to is this study, the use of a systems approach to increase NAD in human participants. So this is the study that she's looking at, or that she's talking about, and that's her right there. And essentially what she's talking about is that in her product, this Nuchido Time Plus product, she's not only increasing NAD levels through the administration of one of the precursor molecules, NAM, but she's also blocking certain enzymes that would otherwise degrade NAD and then drop that NAD pool. In addition to that, she's also adding compounds that increase the production of NAD. So on both sides of the equation here, you're stopping the degradation of NAD and you're producing more NAD. So that's the general idea behind this product and why it might be superior to other NAD products. Okay, that said, she also mentions that in this trial, it's clinically proven that NAD can be boosted or increased with this product. And she's not wrong. It's actually absolutely right. So on the left side here, we've got the placebo condition. So in each one of these placebo conditions over time, so over 4 weeks, there's no change in blood NAD levels. On the other hand, with the Nuchido Time trial, there seems to be an increase in blood NAD levels. Now, I should point out, though, here that there are many other studies that have shown with their more normal, quote-unquote, normal versions of NAD that have shown increases in blood NAD levels. It's actually not the issue. Usually the issue is how do you get NAD into the musculature or into the brain or into the liver, into the renal system. So how do you get it actually into these tissues? because other studies that have looked at NAD have often seen increases in NAD levels in the blood, but then ultimately not seen these increases in the tissue. Now, in addition to that, she says that in her clinical trial that there's this reversal of age or biological age. And what she's referring to is this type of test that's called an IgG glycosylation test. And this is a metric or a way of measuring biological age. Now, is this the all-encompassing metric that indicates if a person is aging or not aging? No, it's not. It's just a method of measuring biological age. And unfortunately, what she also fails to mention, which of course it's a short video, but what she fails to mention is that they don't actually run any statistics on this. And here we can see that in the black, we've got the placebo. There seems to be a plus 0.36 years, as in they got 0.36 years older over those 4 weeks of supplementation with the placebo, so meaning no NAD supplementation. On the other side, those that took the NAD supplement, this Nuchido Time Plus supplement, reversed, quote unquote, reversed their age by minus 1.26 years. However, there's no statistics applied here, so we actually don't know if there's a statistically significant difference between these two conditions. Not to mention, in statistics, if you look at these lines here, known as confidence intervals, they give you an indication of how certain, quote unquote, the evidence is. And considering that there's a good amount of overlap between these two, it seems like the certainty is actually pretty low. That said, there still could be an effect here, but there's multiple hoops that we have to jump through to really fully be able to jump to this conclusion that there's definitely an age reversing effect. So there could be one, but there's a few leaps that we have to take that I wouldn't feel comfortable taking.
In our clinical study, Nuchido Time Plus boosted NAD levels in just 7 days.
So let's go back to the study real quick. And she's actually wrong about that, at least by comparison to baseline. So here we're looking at baseline in white, and 7 days is the bar right next to it, and it is not statistically significant. It is statistically significant after 2 weeks. So am I quibbling a little bit if it's 7 days or 14 days? I mean, technically, by the letter of what she said, it's wrong. But, you know, if it's 2 weeks or 1 week, it probably doesn't matter. The point is that it is an increase. If we focus on the comparison of the placebo versus the treatment, so that's a different statistical comparison, then it does become true that there's an increase in the Nuchido time trial condition versus the placebo. However, the better comparison in this situation would probably be what's known as the within group comparison, which is the NAD supplement at baseline versus 7 days later, and that does not indicate an increase in blood NAD levels. Does it matter a whole lot? No.
So what can you expect to feel with elevated NAD? Well, the top 3 benefits are increased energy, reduced brain fog, better sleep.
Okay, so normally here I would go back to the study and confirm those 3 things that you just said. But the bottom line is they didn't test any of those 3. So wherever she got that information, and maybe from other sources, none of the NAD studies that I've looked at have seen any sort of convincing effects on any of what she just said. And certainly, unless they have another clinical trial that I'm not aware of, but this is the most recent one to come out, it seems like that's not the case. So it's speculation on her part.
If you want to improve the health of your cells on the inside, then give Nuchido Time Plus a try today.
Okay, so some kind of hit and miss. When it comes to the mechanism, she nailed it. When it came to increasing blood NAD levels, it's true, it does increase blood NAD levels, but so do some other supplements. When it comes to reversing age, you could quibble one way or another that it does that or not. And in terms of the 3 effects that you mentioned, like for example, improved sleep and brain fog and whatnot, there's no evidence for that at this point. So hit or miss, but I think that there's a little bit of a stretching of what the data actually shows, in my humble opinion. Okay, catch you next time. See ya.